talk station, passionate, trustworthy, and conversational. On air, off air, on the street, on the line, everywhere, everywhere you go, so to say. My name is Abiola Shodia, but you can call me Captain Fantastic. I'll be your anchor this morning on Sport Driver. There's a lot to talk about, after a very busy weekend in the world of sports. Definitely, let me quickly help with a roundup of what happened. The Super Falcons of Nigeria have reported the claims in a section of the media that they are planning to stage a protest before Nigeria's opening match against Canada on November 21 at the FIFA Women's World Cup. And the Nigeria Football Federation has also confirmed that apart from the $30,000 guaranteed from the FIFA purse that will be going to the Super Falcons players, they would not be getting an extra bonus. We also understand it's not only a Nigerian issue. The English women's national team also is fighting to get its share. They want to get bonus from the federation, which the federation has not agreed to. Meanwhile, we also understand that we have papers. Benga is here with me, by the way. Benga, good morning. Thank you for joining this morning.
Yes, good morning, Abiola. It's good to be here. Happy Monday.
Yeah, great. Good to be here. Wimbledon is taking place. Last night there was the British Grand Prix. But before we get to that, because today we shall be looking at the prospects for Nigerian sports in the next couple of minutes. We have some Nigerian sports thriving, doing well without a minister, so we shall be looking at that. But quickly, let's quickly run down the papers this morning. Before we get to the papers, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) on Thursday in Abuja at the International Conference for Corruption in Sports, Whistleblowing and Accountability. Says through Bawa Katungu, it's head of our AMCON desk, who represented the EFCC minister, chairman, I beg your pardon, noted that the agencies has not been able to pursue corruption in sports due to the fact that the affected actors in sports have not been able to summon the courage to come out openly to report cases of victimization, corruption, whatever, to the EFCC. He says the anti-graft agency only get to hear about old bonuses, unpaid allowances, salaries to coaches on the pages of newspapers, radios, and on television, and
social media.
And on social media. It says the fact that the victims cannot come out to openly file a petition to the EFCC has prevented the EFCC from pursuing this case. He also noted that FIFA is one of one of the agencies, international organization that has been covering its sub-federation out there. So these are some of the things he said right there. I don't know how this really sounds, but that's what the EFCC says. But quickly, let's take a look at the papers today. I have with me the Vanguard, the newspaper, and on the sport page we have the story which says Pesero stays until after AFCON 2023. That's coming from the NFF. Clear out. Rivers United sacked 10 players. Bayern submit huge £80 million bid for Kane. Pegula reaches Wimbledon quarterfinals. I think that's about it we have one about Osimhen. Man U drop interest in Osimhen. PSG targets him. That's about it from the Vanguard. There you go, Benga.
So, we all remember the government.
Okay, quickly, let's take a look at what the Nigerian Tribune is saying. Buying transfer, that's coming from agents. Onana will join United in days, reports. And then we also have this, she says, club to drop Maguire as captain. Conte shouted at me for 2 hours. Richarlison says that's Richarlison, the player of Tottenham Hotspur, recalling the time under former sports manager Antonio Conte.
Yes, and if we go to the Nigerian pilot, yes, hopefully the Nigerian pilot has some spots for us. But do you have one there? Because I don't think the Nigerian pilot is giving us any sporting news at the moment.
All right.
Yes, I've seen it. Mbappe calls PSG a divisive club. I personally watched that interview and wow, he had a lot of things to say. Kelechi Iheanacho joins Awoni at Nottingham Forest. Yes, remember Leicester City were relegated last season. Nottingham Forest survived. Nothing like FIFA World Cup boycott. That is what is coming out from the Super Falcons camp, said by the captain, Onome Ibi. She has said nothing like the FIFA World Cup boycott. And lastly, don't renew Jose Pesiero's contract, Oguntuashe tells NFF.
Okay, let's quickly take a look at what the blueprint is saying today. It says Messi, Kolawole Obrududu shine at Spanish Grand Prix. That's talking about wrestling. And then advocate wants transparent measures in combating sports corruption. I think I mentioned that, when we opened the show.
Yeah.
Pesero's contract runs till after AFCON. NFF, Nigeria Super 8, Casina hold Remo Stars as Aimba walk tightrope.
Yeah.
Okay, that's about it from the Blueprint newspaper today.
Yes, and in the Punch newspaper, Onyema honors boycotted Montreal Olympics athletes. That is talking about the AFCON Euros. Those who boycotted the Montreal Olympic Athletics Championship, Onyema has honored them. Well, you will have to read that in the Punch newspaper to know more. I think Ronshewe charges golf on skills acquisition. So I really don't know much about golf in Nigeria, but that's supposed to be an interesting read at the back page of the Punch.
Well, golf is doing well. If you go to the IBB golf club, you would find the golfers right there. Well, okay, we're done with the papers right now. Let's take a look at the stories and let's analyze them. Look at the contest right there. Well, we understand yesterday the Nigeria's basketball men's national team D Tigers defeated Mali 62-56 by 62 to 56 points at the ongoing African holding in Angola, and today it's set to face Angola itself, the host country, in the group game right there. Nigeria originally did not qualify for this tournament, but got a wild card. This is a tournament organized for basketball players based in Africa right here, and in the absence of the FIBA Afro Basket, which comes up next year. Also, just like we told you, we understand Nigerian wrestlers are back from Spain, where they won 2 gold medal and 1 bronze medal. Blessing Dudu, a silver medalist at the Olympic, picked up a bronze medal, while wrestlers like Esther Kolawole and then Messi Genesis secured gold medals for Nigeria. We understand they'll be heading off to Hungary next week. This weekend for another meet right there, and then they will come back home to Nigeria for the Governor Diri National Wrestling Classics right there. Meanwhile, as we're talking about the wrestlers, let's also let you know that the Nigeria basketball women's national team under 21 girls yesterday in Niamey, Niger Republic, defeated Ghana to win the Africa Zone 3 Championship right there, beating Ghana in 3 straight sets right there, in what turned out to be a very impressive outing for Nigeria. They defeated Ghana 25-10, 25-15, and 25-10. Right now, Gringa, we understand the president will soon, roll out the names of ministers, and we're also looking at the sport ministry. There are rumors out there that the sport ministry might just be, divided, broken into 2, as it is right now. It is Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, and we're getting feelers that it might just be a Ministry of Youth different from Ministry of Sport. All this is subject to confirmation, official release by the presidency, by the way. But with the state at which Nigeria sport is, we have the Super Eagles, Pesero issue, Super Falcons issues. We have wrestling doing well on itself, handball doing well on itself, basketball not doing very well. What do you think should be the agenda of the next sport minister? What type of person are you expecting to be named the sport minister in the coming days or weeks?
Well, whatever quality I want to spell out, some people would say, oh, we had a former person who had this, who had that. I might say, okay, we want a tech-savvy person. We just had a tech-savvy person. We want somebody who is after the youth, who wants development. We just had that. Because if you look at the 4 years under the former president of the NFF, it wasn't really that bad. But I feel like it was down to what were the expectations for sports generally.
You mean the former sport minister?
Sorry, former sports minister. Because in terms of infrastructure, he tried. He started a lot of reconstructions of some national stadiums around Nigeria. under his watch, we had some trust funds that were established that I even saw validated documents of people who benefited.
The sports industry bill.
Exactly, but how many things could he focus on? Because under his watch too, we had unpaid salaries. Both the senior men's team, the senior women's team, underage grades team, almost everybody were
now, let me ask you, would you subscribe to the opinion that sports should be broken? It should be, the ministry should be broken into two. Ministry of Sports should be different from Ministry of Youth Development.
Absolutely.
And you?
Yes, I'm subscribing to that because it streamlines your focus as a minister. If you're a minister of youth, you know you are focusing on youth development, focusing on infrastructure, which is most of the things Sunday Diary focused on. But sports generally, we just talked about the basketball team. The win over Mali was like their best. They did better than 2019 where they lost all 3 games.
Yeah.
And now they are facing Angola again. Even in that particular game against Mali, I think I saw 1 or 2 highlights. They did well in the first 1, 2, 3 quarters before eventually winning in the 4th quarter. So we are doing well in a way, but we can't do so much if certain foundations aren't set in place. And you can't do that if you're not focusing on it. If you're just relying only on reports from this, reports from that, how many reports do you want to validate? But if you're the president of sports, you focus on sports when it comes to football, basketball, and the likes of it, while the president of youth development does his own. Not to say that Sunday Diary didn't do well, but it is obvious that he did well in more parts than others, just because he had too many things to focus on.
Okay, quickly, probably we might just throw this out there if we have some minutes to spare. You can also be a part of the conversation right now. The number to call is 070-0951-0000. And if you'd like to reach us via the WhatsApp number is 080-999-30137. Do you fancy the possibility of sports being broken in? This Ministry of Youth and Sport Development being broken into two. The Ministry of Sports separately standing on its own, and the Ministry of Youth also standing on its own. Because you look at it, who practice sports? Because the way
I wanted to mention that. If it is divided,
can you separate them?
Yes, we can. If it is divided, we now divide to conquer. It's now delegated. So when we talk about grassroots football, the Ministry of Sports can now combine with the Ministry of Youth and say, okay, you guys look at the educational sector, look at the young people growing up that we can bring into sports. But it's not all youths that are involved in sports. That's what we need to understand. Some youths are involved in other aspects of life. But when you now combine both sports and youth, then you have just one solo front.
Hello, good morning. You're live on 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Bright. I'm calling from Airport Road.
All right, Bright. Good to have you. Let's talk, Bright.
To check the history of sports, since I know sports,
Sorry about that, Bright. Meanwhile, for those who are more interested in transfer stories, okay.
Yeah.
Take that, please.
Hello. Good morning. Welcome. Sorry, please speak louder.
Okay, Nduka, good to have you. Welcome.
What you just said, it's mostly the sports and the youth. If I may ask, which one is the nature of the youth? Is it youth for youth going to football or the whole Nigerian youth?
No, all Nigerian youths.
I think the only need for that for me. Let me be one sport minister. You have to be minister of, just like what you have last government, minister of women affairs, minister of material affairs. This are not right. Let me be one minister that can be able to do this. They think there's some money. If you bring money to the place, they'll be performing anyhow. What has happened in NFS now? We don't see the state of this case. We don't see the state of football in Nigeria again. We no longer enjoy Nigerian football. Because of all these kind of things that's happening. I don't support the idea of situation. Let me be 1 minute.
Okay, thank you very much. Says it does not support the idea of splitting it into two. Well, these things will come if it's eventually confirmed that this is going to happen.
I think people also need to also understand that the Ministry of Youth Development is not a subsection of sports. It's not. They are totally different departments altogether. So they are combined into one ministry, which is why I am supporting the fact that it's just like saying a station that has like 3 different subsections, and you now combine all of them under one programs manager. The person will not really, do you understand? So that's what I'm saying. Split it so that we can all divide to conquer. You know?
Divide to conquer. You want to divide to conquer?
No, divide to conquer. There's unity in diversity now. Division of labor.
The way that sounds, the way that comes out, Meanwhile, we understand. Manchester United is likely to seal the transfer of Andre Onana this week. David De Gea has said his goodbyes to Manchester United after 12 good years of service right there.
Unceremonially, though.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's really shocking. We wait to see Andre Onana. He's an African brother. He's from Cameroon. So it's a win for Africa.
Well, I was hoping that if Mendy had not left, we'll now have 2, a Senegalese and a Cameroonian, but Mendy has gone to Saudi, so we're back to only just one African goalkeeper. Hopefully, it does well with Manchester United.
Hopefully, it does well with Manchester United. Wishing, because
number 10 with gloves.
I know it's really going to be a big task because the Premier League will be tough, the 12th ground. But by the way, for those of you calling, we see the calls, but we can't take,
as you can see my hand, I was about to.
We do not have enough time, but hopefully the conversation will continue later in the evening on Football Frenzy from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. where we have enough time to talk about this thing. But thank you for joining us. It's been amazing. Binga, it was nice having you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, wishing you a great day. Have a nice day, a lovely day. My name remains Abiola Shodia, urging you to stay out of trouble. Thank you.
This is Nigeria Info.
Info.